Hey guys, this is a pre-recorded match. We're playing against Espatulita, which means the little spatula in Spanish. I'm assuming you know Spanish, but we are playing on Hill and Dale. And in Mongol mirrors, I like to generally go for the Mangudai opening. It's Keshik can be a pretty good opening, but the thing with the Keshik is that you're almost always guaranteed to be looking against the Spearman mass, so I'd rather go into Mangudai to be able to counter this. And our opponent's collecting wood. He's still collecting wood. So this is going to be pretty much guaranteed into a Dark Age build, but we don't really have knowledge of this. We do run into each other's cons, and we start splitting and scouting our respective sides of the map. Now, one thing that I do kind of mess up with my spawn here is I put my TC kind of in this really neutral spot that's not really serving me, except for, I guess I've protected my deer patch. But again, that's not as essential early on, especially against Mongols, because they're going to be rushing you. I could have dropped my TC on this Uvu, which would have been good. Actually, the ideal spawn would be right here, because that would really make it hard for him to hit our Uvu. We'd have to run all the way across. But either way, this is just not a very good spawn or selection for our TC. And we do realize this. After we get this other villager out, we're going to move our TC up and closer. I should have picked the Gur, to be honest, and dropped it back over here. Sorry about that. Let me unpause it. I had to go real quick. But yeah. So I have to reposition my TC. We're going to get a better protection here on our gold. I probably could have picked up this Gur earlier and got an even better position, but again, did lose a little bit of villager production time, so we wanted to minimize that since we are a little bit behind. Now if we compare it to our opponent's spawn, his gold and his Ubu spawned even worse than ours actually, because he has no way of defending it. And he is sending his spearman over. He is not sending a villager over, which is a little weird. Usually they send a villager over for the tower rush. But it looks like he's just going to go for the burn down that he can get and be happy with it. And he's scouting our front here, and he sees our base. He drops his hawk. We see him. We do garrison, and we do almost snipe his con out. Again, if we were forward here, we completely shut this down, and he'd have to go all the way over and around. So again, little things like positioning can lead to some really big things in the game. So this, for him to be here, he'd have to run all the way around. His troops would be like over here. We'd still have, I don't know, an additional like 30 seconds before he would be burning us down, starting to burn us down. Not to mention his other troops. So yeah, position is really big. And again, this game we didn't do a great job positioning here. We had a gold and this woodland, so we could have gone with a forward TC there and really been in a better spot. Regardless, we're going to tap up with our silver tree, and we're going to look to dropping a range right next to our base once we're done, and going into Mangudai for there. No, we don't see the tower, which definitely would have hindered us quite a bit if you dropped a tower. But yeah, so it kind of allows us to be safe on this gold, which is nice. Vision wise, we're gonna scatter on the other side of the map here. If we look at his vision, he's got less vision on the map than us, and he's just sending spearmen across, trying to get as much damage as he can early. This is what it looks like. Kind of a weird play. He scouts us here. He sees that we're going for the silver tree. Sees us collecting food. So he's going to get us burned down. He's going to be happy with that. He's going to be getting more gold or stone than us at this point. But he has spent quite a bunch of his stone on these extra spearmen. And he's going to commit 7 villagers onto his silver tree. So it's a super aggressive silver tree drop, and we do see it. with our Khan right now. He's just aggroing his villager, kind of harassing. Unlikely we're gonna get a kill here, but it is annoying. It will drain some APM. He's gonna send a spearman over to take care of it. But we've gotten the information that we wanted. Basically, we see the silver tree. If you see our scouting falcon fully confirms that, and that's pretty much it. Now his army backs out. We don't have vision of this. We didn't know if he went. I figured that he went south, and then he would either go up to the neutral trade post or to this corner to help pick our trader, our market set up. So yeah, we didn't know where he was, and actually it's a really good thing that he it was a good thing for us that he went this way instead of denying our market. So our Mangudai is out. I think in part because he sees the range coming out, he just wants to get out of there. So we're going to take our Mangudai and start trying to scout around the map, try to find his spearman. And since he's edged up, we figure that the silver tree is going to be on the way. He does a good job pulling the spearman to make sure nobody's over there to deny his silver tree. So smart play by him there. And yep, we've got a couple Mangudai, and we just kind of ran around our base. We're trying to look for his spearman, and we can't find him. And we're going to take our Khan and just run circles around this spearman. And he's got this big mess at home. A second. 1 second, guys. I got a phone call. Okay, sorry about that, guys. A lot of pauses in this video. So over here, we're just harassing the spearman, and behind this, we're starting to get our Mangudai mass up. We are sending 2 Mangudai over to help deal with the traders that are soon to be coming out. We still weren't sure where his spears were at. We do see the one trader, so we're going to start working on this. We don't see this massive spearman transitioning over, which is going to get a mean catch on us later. But we are sending our next group of Mangudai over to the neutral trade market. I don't think I can kill this one trader. I'm not going to catch it with my other Mangudai, so we're just going to let that happen. I'm just going to fall back, double back. He has gone to a stable now. He's going to start getting Keshiks. We do see this Keshik now. And we are going to react in time and fall back. On the plus side, we are able to take down this trader. And we're just going to fall back and try to get out of this situation. And we are sending a couple more. We were sending a couple more to go help our Khan over here to get a better mass. And we see the Khan and we see the Keshiks, but we didn't see the spearmen. So that totally gets a really good catch on us and wipes us clean there. Oh, sorry, just a second. Okay, sorry about that. Hopefully this is the last pause. So our Khan, or a couple of Mangudai, got caught out there, unfortunately. And he's cranking out traders. But we do have a secondary group of Mangudai on the way across the map. And there's going to be 4 of them. And we have a 5th one on the way. So we're setting up ourselves in a pretty good position here. We are dropping a stable now to be able to catch him. These Keshiks, because we won't be able to go just straight Mangudai to fight his Cav mass. And he's looking to start pushing us across the map. And he pulls his traders. It looks like he's just taking him to his TC. I was worried that he would take him over here to the trade post. Okay, so he is trading down there. So that's kind of where I figured he would go. And I wanted to send some troops over there. I was going to send some units to deal with it. But I probably should have just pulled these 2 Mangudai. This probably would have been the best move. So we're trying to get some units out, but his army's here. And we do see his army that's here, and we know we can't really contest this. We can kind of harass here, because he doesn't have any like serious units up. But we're not going to be able to do much in terms of like a lot of actual significant damage. So we're just harassing. Our first Kashik hasn't been able to come up, unfortunately. And yeah, he's getting his traders over. So one thing too was this Mangudai mass. We should have split the other half of them onto here once we shut down his trade. So that was definitely a big mistake on my part because he's going to get a ton of gold now. When we could have had him very close to gold starved at this point. So we are able to snipe a couple of vills here, which is nice. But he's been able to burn down a stable. We do pull out blacksmith. I didn't want to lose that as well. And range is still producing units. So we're getting another massive Mangudai here at home to help defend, which is going to be helpful. We're on to a second deer patch as well. One thing that he doesn't really do is rotate onto deers. And we see over here that we don't see any traders or anything. And we're just going to keep rotating. We weren't finding our opponents really where we wanted to. We see that his army was starting to fall back, so we try to build an archery range here. This is really bad move on our part. Definitely a little bit too greedy. We do pick out his con, but you can see that we're just doing really minimal damage here with the Mangudai. It is kind of unfortunate, kind of the status. And yeah, we still haven't run into his traders again. Really bad micro on our part with these Mangudai. I could have done a little bit cleaner with that. And we're starting to build a outpost up. And you can see he's just got tons of gold because he's been trading, building traders. So he's just sitting in a really good spot in terms of looking to castle. He's got tons of gold that can help him get there. He just needs to rotate his villagers a little bit. And yeah, he's actually sitting in a pretty decent spot here. He's got a decent villager lead because of the traders he's got out and about. But we do have a couple armies. And we're going to try to two-prong hit him in a couple spots. We do find some villagers over here. And we're able to take out a couple of them, which is nice. We do drop our vision here, harass him off of his wood line. We do have to fall back, unfortunately. But we've harassed him a little bit, and we've kind of denied. We're not sure where he's trading to. We're trying to figure out where he was trading to. And we do, we're trying to see him catching on this trade line. But he had rotated this trade line. I kind of knew he would, and that's kind of why we're dropping this tower to help us defend this. But again, splitting my Mangudai forces early on would have done a really good job, and he would have been really gold starved at this point. But behind this, we are also beginning to trade ourselves. So now we're actually on equal trade numbers as our opponent, and we're going to be in a pretty good spot. So here we kill. I think we killed a couple vills, or we were going to, but we got at least a decent, some decent aggro in. And yeah, we see his army, and one big thing is because he's got so much infantry in this army, is we were going to still stay really mobile, and we fought back. And this is it's a pretty strong army. And the big thing is too that he's got 10 archers involved in this army. So if we don't commit back our other Mangudai onto here, we have a potential of losing a pretty significant position on our base. We're getting our double stables up, and we really wanted to hold this position at kind of all costs. Because if we lose another production building, we've already lost 150 wood on that other archery range. We've lost a lot on Ubus, and I think we've lost 2 production, maybe 3 production buildings at this point in terms of cost. So we get a nice little raid in there before his spearmen take notice. And again, this is one point where after that initial fight there, I felt like I could actually hold this with just my main army. And I sent my Mangudai to go harass his villagers on deer. But honestly, if they just stayed here on trade, they would have done a really good job of just shutting down his trade again. So, again, little mistakes, little details here and there. Behind this, we do have a outpost that is shooting these traders, which is again doing a pretty good job of taking them out. So they get 1 trade in, maybe they'll get 2 trades in max from around here, but they'll die. So here he's got a decent army, but he can't really push these military infrastructure buildings without losing a lot of troops. Behind this, we're kind of harassing his villagers on deer, and he's lost quite a few amount of villagers here, and he decides to pull back here. He is getting his first eco upgrade. That's a thing. Another thing is we've got all of our military upgrades basically, as well as wheelbarrow, and we're getting our eco upgrades now. A little bit later on survival techniques. Would have liked to have had that a little bit earlier. And we are dropping a tower onto his silver tree as well. His traders here on our side have been kind of killed out, and he's chasing our Mangudai over here. Behind this, we're sending a main force over to the main trade line. And over here, we've noticed that he has traders going on this side again. And we see that there's actually quite a few. So we know that he doesn't just like start producing these, that these are some of the previous traders that we didn't end up catching. But our army is coming over here now. And army value-wise, now we're actually pulling ahead. Eco-wise, we're behind, but I think we're in a better spot overall because there is no threat to our eco at this point. He does spot the outpost going up. I probably should have dropped it over here or a little bit to the side. So we are going to lose our villager and we're going to lose this investment on the outpost. But we're paying good attention over here, seeing what's happening in terms of this. And we try to get this little split here, but we're not able to, so we just have to fall back. And he's going to tap up with the curl type now. He's also gone 2 TC, so he's going super eco heavy. Now, here's another thing too. I think going curl tie in this case was a mistake. He's gone 2 TC. His trade is being he's going to have to fight to reestablish. So I feel like actually going step readout might have been a better move here because he would have been able to hold his position with his infantry army. You kind of want a static arm. Like he has gone for kind of a static army, so I think you want to go for kind of a static landmark. Behind this, we did raid. We are raiding and we're getting some villager kills here. Besides all the villager kills we're getting on his traders. So you can see in terms of eco kills, we've gotten a lot more. And these couple Keshiks do some pretty good damage over here. And we're just massing up units. And we've just been sending them over. We have another mass coming over here to go deal with his silver tree, get some damage in. And again, lots of traders have just gone down. And his trader count is now at 12, and he's been producing pretty consistently, and we're at 12. So that's after losing that many traders. So you can see that he's definitely been losing quite a bit. And you can see that's where the destroyed value comes in. Even though like we've done a lot more in terms of villager kills, we have lost a pretty good amount of army units, and that's kind of where that destroyed value is coming in. So behind this, we're sending more units out to go deal with the silver tree. He stopped producing from it. And did he stop trading? Did he lose all of his traders? Oh, so he's got 4 traders left. Okay. So he's on 4 traders, but yeah, he's lost a significant amount. But he's on double TC now, so he's going to kind of establish himself there. And we have now taken the eco lead. Our silver tree is going pretty full go, and we're about ready to age up at this point. We're just waiting for a couple more turn-ins, and there we go. So we can look to age up now. And we'll probably we pull our villagers off of food, since we do have pocket resources on deer. And so he's aged up. He's got his veteran catching. He's got veteran archers. He doesn't have any blacksmith upgrades, so we're just going to kind of fall back. He's going to get some gold here. He's got a bunch of gold stockpiled from his trade earlier on. But a big thing is his silver tree is getting burned out. He tries to micro it, and yeah, his army that was kind of sitting back here was kind of worried about us hitting one side. So he's left his army to kind of protect, and now his silver tree, we're able to get a wrap around it, and yeah, taking down the silver tree is a pretty big deal. We're going to sacrifice some units here, but again, forcing him to build a market, forcing him to lose that silver tree is always really nice. It's going to take a long time for him to repair it. And at this point, we're at a really strong position to win the game. Behind this, again, we hit the west side. We do find his traders, and we're able to take a couple traders out. And these units, we kind of just sacrifice, but we do fall back. We don't want to like fully commit here. We are getting our veteran Mangudai, veteran Keshiks, as well as our Step Lancer upgrade, which is going to be really helpful. And it puts us in a pretty strong position to get some damage here. Kurultai would be nice to move up, and we are up to 4 stables and 3 ranges now. You can see our opponent militarily is 1 stable, 1 barracks, 2 ranges. So he's kind of starting to fall behind in terms of production. You can see he's floating 3,000 wood. So a big, like, what we've been able to do with our army here in terms of pressuring him micro wise has really messed up his macro game. Like, he's floating absolute tons of wood. He should be able to drop an absolute shit ton of infrastructure, and it's because he hasn't been able to really get the APM to do that, and that's kind of what's been happening. So his army pushes off of us, and we decide to find the Kurultai, get some free damage, some free healing in for our Keshiks here, and behind this we're going to move our Kurultai up. We're going to start rallying our troops forward, getting our upgrades, as well as a prayer to start collecting relics, and we're just kind of transitioning into a late game here at this point. And we are at 21 traders. So we see his army, we do fall out. We don't want to get stuck in this choke point. We will lose to his army. It's 10 Keshiks, 9 spearmen, 5 Keshiks. So yeah, we would get absolutely obliterated here. And we do have a couple Mangudai sneaky around the side of the map. If we see our vision here, we're just trying to poke and prod and find anywhere that we can to get some damage in. And while we hit one side over here, we raid his villages on his main base. We take these Mangudai and hit the other side over here. And that's kind of just what we always try to do, is try to find a couple of spots to get hits in. Villager kills, you can see, have gone up significantly. Destroyed value, yeah, we're losing a lot of army here. But again, at this point, we'll take army over villager kills all day. And while we do this, we push him off of his gold back here, which is going to be pretty big. Like, he's got 2k in the bank, but it is finite at this point, and he has to move out on the map on Hillendale to go for it. And yeah, he's just he's losing a bunch of units here. He lost a lot of villagers, he's losing a lot of infrastructure. So we see his army, and we're just going to fall back. Again, that's just kind of the key to this gameplay, is to just hit one side. If the army's bigger than you can fight, fall back, you're more mobile, and hit on another flank. He's either got to split his army, or he's got to or fight you on one side. So if he splits, you got the victory on one side if you can crash like on a 2v1 there. Mangudai, we just kind of run around the side, trying to find where we can. And yeah, we try to come over here, and we see his army cutting us off, which made me think he might be trying to set up trade on the other side, but we're not too worried. We have a tower over here. And Mangudai over here picking off some more villagers. Just a couple of Mangudai, and they can do some really good damage, you guys, you can see. And over here, we do unfortunately get caught out a little bit. We lose a pretty good mass of units here, and we fall back. But while this is happening, again, back here, we've been killing a lot of villagers. I think we're up to like 6 villager kills with these 2 Mangudai. Again, really nice. And because the attacks are coming in from a lot of directions, it takes him a long time to realize. And while he's doing that, we're not sure where his army is, and we're trying to get some aggro here. We see his army, and we see that it's moving, and we dive in with some horsemen, and we fall back here. And these guys were just kind of there as distraction. Well, not distraction, as to kind of like get some damage in. And when we see his army rotate, we fall back, and now he's just kind of stuck up on this hill. He's got plenty of infrastructure. He still has a really good amount of wood floating, but his gold is starting to run out, and he's got to make a move to get out on the map soon. And we just kind of keep pressing. While he pushes us on one side, we take a fight on the other side. Again, killing a couple of villagers. We're up to 60 villager kills at this point. Most people tap out by now, but he's gonna, because he's on 2DC, he's gonna go ahead and try to turtle and take and work his way to victory again. Not really sure how he's going to. We do have a siege workshops up, and we've got 7 stables, 2 ranges. Was it really? Oh, okay, 3 ranges. I was gonna say, I thought we had a couple more. And over here, he's pushing us. So we're under Kurultai. We've got a tower, and we got a decent army here. We've got our upgrades. I know he doesn't have any upgrades. So he's got some spearmen, and they're gonna do some damage. But these archers aren't gonna do a lot of damage. They're gonna do a little bit of damage. So we felt like we had a pretty good fight here. We're getting mangonels out, and the big thing is we've got a lot of army on the way here. So taking this fight, definitely not the best fight perhaps in terms of like trading, but you can see here what we have here. We have 10 Kashyyyks left, 2 horsemen, 3 Mangudai, and he's got 1, 2, 3 spearmen. So basically he's had 4 spearmen, he's got 45 archers, so he can't actually stay under this tower and win this. We have a Mangudai on the way, so again, kind of a rough fight in terms of like being able to win this. Like without losing a lot of my army, because I lose an absolute ton of my army, but we've got the income. We know we've got him pinned. We know he doesn't have gold to replace these knights. So this is definitely a fight we want to take. Again, behind this too, we take our Khan and we dive his base. So we're idling his food eco, and we're getting a lot of kills on villagers behind this. And so villager kills are going up, and I'm pretty happy where I'm at here. We know that he's kind of turtled up in his base. He's got his big army here. And we could probably dive and push and get some more damage in, but at this point we felt like we were sitting in a really comfortable position. We can take a little bit of time, get some infrastructure up. Our monk is out collecting relics, get our upgrades. The +1 damage is going to be nice as well, and or +1 defense. Yeah, no, +1 damage it is, and yeah, getting the silver tree up and going, or our trade like really dominantly going is we can just sit here and just mass produce units throughout this whole time. So we just creep our Kurotai forward. We know he's sitting in a really rough spot here. He's got mostly an all archer army. We've got 1 mangonel in the field, and we're just flooding units across. We're going to take our time. Again, we're not really in a big hurry here. We've done a lot of work already this game. We've set ourselves up in a good spot. He's mass repairing the silver tree. Okay, so he's going to try to get back into the game trading. Not a great option, not a bad option, but I think it's 100% cheaper just to drop regular markets at this point. I guess the gold cost is way down with your silver tree traders, but you're not going to be able to boom up in time with just the silver tree at this point, especially with this big army outside his base. And yeah, all of our military production buildings are going. 7 stables, 4, 5 ranges, so we have 12 military infrastructure buildings, as well as a siege workshop. And yeah, we're just seeing what we can do, pushing forward nice and slowly. Our Kurotai here, if we see our vision here, we can see the Kurotai, we can see his barracks. We just figure that he's just massing army up. He does produce, he's got like good infrastructure now, able to like hold us, but he doesn't have the gold income. His food income is actually really struggling right now. At 13 villagers on food, he can basically, from 2 TCs, keep 2 TCs constant, and maybe like 2 military buildings constant. He's going to start building springholds because he sees that we've got a mangonel. Again, probably not a bad call, but it's just a little bit too little too late at this point. He's turtled up in his base, and he's going to try trading, try to set up his trade again. So, not a bad call. Maybe it would have been a good thing to drop another tower down here on the south. We could have definitely used that. But timing-wise, we've let him kind of reboom, and at the same time we've reboomed. And you can see army value from what was, we were 1,000 points in it, so 25% more military. Now we've got almost 300% more military. So once that eco damage has been done, and once you trade out a fight and almost trade out your whole army, doesn't really matter because now you can just eco boo. So it was a 3-4 minute pause between our fight, and now we're just going to aggro him. Rams are on the way, and we're getting our upgrades from our Uvu for our increased raid bounty. He's starting to trade, so I mean he's happy in the sense that his gold is getting reestablished now. 39 traders on the silver tree. Just a second. 39 traders on the silver tree. I've got 39 traders on the silver tree. He's got 4. I don't know why that says 39, but anywho. So we're just pushing him. We're just aggroing him. If he brings his springholds up, which he does, we're just gonna keep diving. And we have more siege on the way, but we'll just take this fight here. Again, we'll bring the siege up, try to get a juicy shot with a Mangudai on this archer mass, and he does tap out. He does make a comment saying that Mangudai are cheap and an unfair way to play, something along those lines, which I can kind of see in feudal or an imp, but in castle they're not really that good, and in general they lose to archer mass. I just have to avoid taking his fight. So in general too, his Dark Age rush wasn't actually the very best option for him to do. So yeah, that was just another match, guys. Apologies again for all the pausing. And oh, on a side note, Mongols have gotten a bunch of buffs in our last patch. We get now Pax Mongolica, which is stone towers, and it's an upgrade that if you're an imp, get it 100% of the time for its value. It's definitely, I'd say it's undertuned. I think in the future it's going to get a cost increase because it's so cheap, and you're basically getting stone towers on all of your towers that you build. So, I mean, they're a little bit weaker than your traditional stone tower, but again, super worth it, especially in imp when you've got bombard towers. My game is currently bugged, so I can't see what they look like. I've heard they're really cool looking, and I've seen a couple of streams, and I've caught some glimpses of them, and they look really good, but I haven't seen them in game personally. My game is bugged for whatever reason, and just teal boxes show up, so that's a little bit unfortunate. And then what else did the Mongols get? So the Keshiks get a buff in Castle Age. They basically now can get Step Lancers in Castle and improve Step Lancers in Imp. And again, that's really big because in Imp, like the Keshiks fell off really hard in Castle. They had a hard time fighting other units, other knights, and like under Kurultai, they were like okay. They could be okay, just kind of decent. But with Step Lancers in Castle now, they actually become pretty much better than every single type of vanilla knight. And I gotta do some good tests though. But I'm guessing that their comparison to Rus and French knights in Castle is going to be a lot better. And under Kurultai, I would expect them to win actually. So I still have to run tests, so take that with a grain of salt. But Mongols did get some pretty big buffs this patch. So. And then double villager production, improved villager production with stone. Its cost has been reduced from 150 to 125, so that's interesting. A little bit better, but again, I don't know how viable that is ever going to be. It just kind of depends on RNG of where your stone spawns, if you're going to go for it. And Mongols you really want the stone for producing units early on and not villagers. It's not really a macro boom sieve. I played around with 2TC improved production, and it keeps on par with like one TC Song Dynasty Chinese production and that type of stuff. But again, you're losing out on that stone for military. So it's kind of it just seems something like you don't really want to ever do. Excuse me. And if it gets cheaper, I could see it become a little bit more viable. But at 125 right now, I don't think it really shifts anything in terms of meta or possibilities. So. Again, take that with a grain of salt. I haven't run a full scope of tests on that yet. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.